Welcome to Coreum Concepts. Thanks for coming by the channel today. Got a special interview with Mark from RizeToday.com and Joey from Lykin. Got a special presentation, introduce this Lykin technology to the Coreum community. Very privileged to present this to you. I hope you enjoy this show. Note about Lykin: they bring the digital into the physical world. What can be done with that is only limited by your imagination. You can see the team here is an absolute powerhouse. In their words, our unfair advantage. We have cross-discipline experience and expertise. We have a track record of execution both on and off world. We fix stuff on Mars. Joey here is the team building evangelist. You can see they have members that have worked with NASA, JPL, Microsoft, US Navy, Disney, Toyota. Absolute powerhouse team here, bringing absolute powerful technology to the Coreum Network and community. So it's with my pleasure to introduce Mark and Joey and Lykin.
So just talking with Joey over the past few weeks here about quite a few possibilities with bringing the Coreum community together, and then just crypto communities in general, how to create different events, how to advertise, how to get funding from either Coreum or some other grants. I recommend do every fucking grant you can, because you're going to be interoperable anyway, so you might as well get a little bit of funding from every community and push that angle. And then I told him just last night that I'd be willing to use some of the rewards that Rize has been accumulating and issue those out as rewards to users to do some of the tasks that will also help incentivize the community and help bring us together in another way. A lot of people need that little financial incentive at first, but I think once they start really seeing some of the other tech in place, they're going to be really blown away, because a lot of people just are like, oh, rewards, but how does that really look in real time with the utility that's bringing them, or what it could bring their business, or what it could bring their friend's business, and the interconnectivity that we will all get from it, and not just that little crypto reward, but that little crypto reward will be the thing that moves them forward. So yeah,
and ultimately, really, it comes down to what the community stands for. And I was talking with Mark before. Every different cryptocurrency has a community tied together through the currency, but at the end of the day, it's still people that believe in something and that they're doing something around that. And so what we're doing with my company, with Lykin, is giving tools to communities and individuals alike that allow them to expand their vision, their dreams, their ideology in terms of what their capabilities are currently. So whether that's metaverse technology, which we have, whether that's geospatial and verification technology, which we have, or bringing together groups from the traditional sense, like marketing budgets from traditional companies, to integrate with cryptocurrencies like Coreum, and getting people rewarded for doing posts about certain things or causes. Right, that's what we're doing, is we're integrating these things all together at once. And we've had the demonstrations of the technology in our show before, and we have it on, you can download it off the App Store. But these are the things that we're really passionate about, bringing these communities together and empowering them.
Yeah, I was using the app actually on the weekend, and I'm an Android user, but my partner has iPhone there, so we downloaded it. We're camping with family, and we had quite a good time actually. And it's amazing. The best part of it was just the ideas that were born from using that product that you put out here so far, just as a demonstration of what it's capable of. And it was really entertaining. The people around were probably more entertained watching us wander around, not knowing what we were doing. But you can certainly see the possibilities of it. Like I haven't been able to stop thinking about what we could do, and the good causes that could benefit from this technology too. Just as far as using it in as far as gathering crowds or gathering people to a cause, to support good causes, and build a community around those.
And that's another reason why we're so fortunate to have been introduced to Coreum and the members here, because there's such a passionate following about what you're trying to do within your community, incentivizing people to learn about the cryptocurrency, learn about Coreum, learn about what it can do for the community. And now we're just adding layers and layers and layers to that, where it's like we can not only incentivize you by rewarding you within the community, but also we can incentivize and reward you from outside the community and have an infusion of value in terms of the value of the currency, because other brands are paying for buying your crypto. So that's the really interesting kind of concept that we have that we're really putting together right now.
Yeah, I really like the the foot traffic thing. Just makes me smile every time I'm thinking about it. You know, it's like the amount of sort of a good way and a bad way at the same time. It's like, wow, you're gonna get some people that are coming to your events that might just be coming there just because they can earn a couple free pieces of crypto. So, you know, it's like same thing, like, you know, watch who's coming to your space, what the motives are coming to the space, but looking at it in terms of being a business owner, the incentivization that you can attract just by having people there. Like, hey, we want 20 people that are just doing this. Come on through to our space and, you know, fill this zone and then be awarded this, or, you know, have this time here, or we need some people to talk about their passions. And it's just such a different way to be able to interconnect with some of the communities that, you know, like there's in the Coreum community, there's so many passionate people just about Coreum and about doing something good and seeing some change in the world. And, you know, they only have 50 or 100 or 200 followers, and they're just like, and they're still trying so hard. They're not trying to sell you anything. They're not trying to say nothing. They're just trying to be like, the only thing they're selling you is their word, saying like, oh my God, here's my time, and I'm giving you all this information, like the beauty that's in this space and this time. Like, they're not even looking for followers. They just want a place to be heard. And I could see Lykin really helping bring community together with that, especially with the foot traffic that'll bring the businesses, and then the incentivization on top of that. And yeah, it's just a really beautiful tech. I know that we had talked a little bit last night, Joey. And by the way, me and Joey have been doing some late night calls and late night back and forth. It's like, how many hours a day do we actually get some sleep to the things that we build for the community? I think the community forgets that you know, that Rome was not built overnight, and
Right.
you know, all great things take some time. And I've been criticized about some of the things that I've been building, and in such a just a put the whip to my back, and I'm just like, wow, okay, here. It's like, you know, I can't fix the promises that were also given to me. So I try not to give you any promises. And whenever there's a hiccup, I always try to, if I'm not going to reward you right now, I will reward, you know, like I have a list of tiers of people of rewards that I just so ready to give out when some other things start making some moves. And
But you know,
and
Mark,
maybe,
if you weren't criticized for what you're doing, then you wouldn't be doing anything. It's the ones that we get criticized because people are always looking at. It's like they're filling the void, right? Mark is doing something, Joey's doing something, Chris is doing something. Well, I should be doing something, but they're not. So you get the criticism because you're building. So that's a good thing, and I welcome that, because it creates feedback, it creates dialogue. And just like you were saying about the people who go in as the foot traffic, there's so many different ways we can gamify this and structure it so that you have different tier systems. Like, hey, you got to show up at this event in order to unlock the next event to next event. And pretty soon you're filtering through the people that actually really are valuable for the organization or for whatever part of the organization. So there's so many different solutions out there that we're coming up with that you can actually use this to create foot traffic for a brand, and then monetize, and then create more value with that group, and then incentivize that group again, because we verified that they were at that location and they've done 5 or 10 of these. And, you know, those are my super users. Those are the guys who say what they're going to do and do what they say they're going to do. So not a problem. Yeah. We can do all that.
So if you have one thing here, one creative idea for another project that you really thought was just like, it doesn't going to be your best one. It just like, here's a 5 or 10 step process of maybe an unfolding of that of a, here you go, here's a task system, and here's how that would look, and maybe a couple layers of unfolding, so people can get a little bit better idea of how deep Lykin technology can take this event.
Sure. So as I was mentioning to Chris before, the core of our technology is geospatial and verification. And we represent that really right now through augmented reality and mapping. And when you combine all those pieces together, you have an incredible tool chest of functionality that you can use to create meta worlds, layers within meta worlds within meta worlds, so that you can go and have a team create experiences at one level in order to unlock it to get to the next level, which is only visible if you've done that. It goes on and on and on from there. And so what we've done from there is also created a mechanism for monetization. And that's what we talked about before a little bit. And that's like, okay, well, for people to actually do actions, they first need a little bit of financial incentive. But at the end of the day, you're going to find people that are incentivizing themselves because they believe in a cause. And these causes now can have a life of their own. They can create experiences around the world that amplify the cause that they're trying to talk about. And you can do this within layers, within multiple layers, merging layers, multiple worlds. That's what our technology is about. It's about empowerment and empowering the individual to create the universe that he or she wants to create around them, and then share that with other people. So that's the long and the short of what we can do.
Awesome. How are you feeling about all that, Chris? Do you feel like any of it's over your head, or are you
I've
grabbing
spent
it all?
I can't even tell you the hours I've spent thinking about this, and I'm happy you said you guys have been talking a lot, because here's one of the questions I've had. I don't know if you can answer it or if there's anything to answer, but I know a long time ago we spoke about your Stelliform NFT technology that you're building on your Rize platform. Very interested in that, as you know. I'm kind of curious now that you two have had some time to chat. Is there any ideas or things that we could expect to see integrated with the two technologies? Because I don't know, I just find your Stelliform NFTs very interesting, and what's planned for them. And I think once you can start placing that digital item in the physical world, that just opens up a whole new set of ideas. Anyways, for me, anyway.
Yeah, good point. Actually, after all of the talks, that's the last thing that I've focused on, and haven't even really communicated to him with any of the technology that's happening. So it's a pretty broad subject we've discussed in another video, but in the short run, we have some intuitive AI being built into our Stelliforms that, we have a couple hundred therapists that are, just medicinal based therapists, are not, oh, here is this medicine, more holistic and naturopathic type doctors that come in, and the little Stelliform would be like your little Jarvis that can communicate with you and to pop up over here, or it can surround you and protect you when you're out in the world if you're feeling anxiety, and you could bring it into a temple space, and it'll be your guide to do some breath work with, and quite a few other things. And that was the first time that I've even mentioned it to Joey here, or even maybe he's even heard about it. But there's a lot of really cool things like that. The partnership that we have with the team that does that, they just got a contract with NASA to do all their AR stuff. They're super ahead of the curve in the game when it comes to that. And we've really been slowly marketing them. I wanted to focus more on what was affordable to a lot of the standard users, and then how we can really help the Coreum team broaden their marketing capabilities into more of the real world. I mean, yes, they had 160 people to come in for their grants, because people just want money, and they want to try to build their dream baby and things. But I was like, well, how can we really get this to the masses? How can we really help save the children? How can we really help the Radiant Center in Hawaii? How can we really help some of these other charities by bringing these communities together? And it wasn't just going to be from some cool Stelliforms that have all these other capabilities and the interoperability behind it, but how can we bridge the gap between crypto communities and traditional brands and marketing? And after speaking with Joey the last few times, there was a lot of really cool clicks about the foot traffic coming into businesses. And then, like you said, you have to go to this event or do this thing, and then you earn that tier, and it unlocks it, and it stays with you, and it stays there, and stays in the ecosystem. And there's just so many layers of earning potential, not just financial earning potential, like a real value that will lift you up and lift others up around you. And that's been Rize's whole goal from day one. I mean, that's all we try to do, is find ways to help out community members that have been either hurt in the downfall of crypto or just in life in general. I've been counseling with 30 or 40 people sometimes a week from the Twitter space or the crypto space that have just reach out because they're like, why are you so motivated all the time? What drives you? How's it? My life's doing this. My life's doing that. And I've walked some people through things. I have thank you letters out the wazoo. Thank you this from people that wanted to commit suicide, to people that were just feeling super down and not knowing what to do with their life, and helping find a way to give direction. And I like to be able to broaden that utility that I enjoy giving people in a way where it doesn't have to take up as much of my time. At the same time, I can be there if they do need me, but then I could broaden it to reach more people, because when there's a couple thousand people coming in, I'm not going to be able to deal with that many people. You know, it's so to be able to spread that, and then let people have stepping stones that they could really feel and resonate with wherever I'm at. If I'm here, or Rize is here, or Lykin's here, or Coreum Concept is here, it's like you'll be able to have that digital trace even in your neighborhood. It's like, hey, we hold a live event there, and you want to go back and you want to go sit there in your neighborhood, and you want to rewatch that live webinar right there in your neighborhood in that same scenario that you were in, where you felt so comfortable. You'll be able to do that right there live in real time again, just because you feel that way. So really looking at a way to rise up. That's our tagline, because that's the way that I feel all the time. Whenever I feel I can't solve a problem or I can't solve something, it's like, how am I going to rise above this? How am I going to solve this? And I say that to myself daily. That's why I tweet it daily. That's why I put it out daily. I'm not just trying to sell my NFTs. That's why I don't talk about selling the NFTs. And I don't talk about buying into this or buying into that. I promote the other projects that come on. I promote this. Once somebody does buy one of the NFTs, I say, hey, if somebody has asked me about it, I will reach back out to them and ask them. It's like, hey, how's it going? Do you want to do this? We even have a Rize Initiate program now that you can buy the Rize member NFT on a payment plan and then receive a Rize Initiate NFT. It'll be the same NFT that you choose, and then that one will get burnt, and you'll get the real Rize NFT when that one's available. I haven't even promoted that to anybody or really show them the next steps. But yeah, for me, I really wanted to have this call today with Joey here and with you, Chris, just because the passion that you have for this space, the man that you are in this space, the way you can take the tension and just slowly get people to walk away from it, and put it in a better story, and seeing the potential, playing on Joey's platform at home already with your friends and family, yeah, that just had me smiling. And then bringing Joey's face to the Coreum community, because I really see that his face will end up being a much bigger face than a lot of people realize. I put out that teaser thing the other day on Twitter, and I didn't put the company name in there all, just to kind of see it. It had a nice little explosion. Not 100,000 retweets or anything, but everybody was talking about it. I had more DMs than I've had in a while. Like, what is this? How can we be part of it? How is this? What is that? So I hope everybody's really able to put a face now with the company Lykin. It's lykin.com. Check them out. Play with their app a little bit. Questions. Joey is such a wonderful human to talk to. I'm sure he's willing to partner with any of the small projects that are available in some sort of way. If you guys want to talk about how you can use some of his technology to help elevate your brand in some sort of way and figure it out, I know that he has a lot of great ideas and a lot of great passion to want to see others succeed also. So I thought he would be a really good fit to the Coreum community as a whole.
As
Yeah, Joy, I was gonna say, like, we just kind of jumped in here we had a little chat before Mark got here, and I've had the privilege of having quite an extensive conversation with you where you actually demonstrated even more than what I've seen on the app that's available on the Apple app store there. Take the time if you want. You have the floor. Tell us about your technology, about your company as much as you want. I want to get the message out to the community because I just show them as much as you want that I was able to see if you like, or tell them
Oh,
about
yeah,
it
for
as
sure.
best you can.
Appreciate it. And just to take a few steps back with what Mark had just said, that entire dialogue that he composed off the cuff right there, I can't explain enough to the community of how parallel everything he just said is the manifestation of our technology, right? Bringing communities together, wounded warrior projects where we're working with veterans, people that are looking for outreach in terms of how to connect with other people, how to benefit communities as a whole. These are all the tenets and pillars behind the technology. And we were struggling in the beginning of how do we deploy, what kind of technology do we develop? And we were looking at different spaces, and we had a great team, but we don't want to be a solution in search of a problem. We wanted to actually solve problems in the world and give people purpose. So, because when you purpose solve, your problems go away. You're not focusing on this is my problem here, my problem there, over there. You're purpose solving of this is my purpose. And okay, I need to get to the next destination, whether it's philosophical or metaphysical or physical. And that's what you're focused on. And you're not worried about, do I have enough gas? Or do I have gas to even start the car and other things like that? Or gas to pay my fees for a crypto transaction. It's you're now have a purpose and you're driven towards a direction. And that's the energy that I feel from Mark and the people that Mark introduces us to, and the other people that have introduced us to Mark and the other Coreum community members. So breaking it down. So let me step back from there. Thank you very much for letting me that little platform. Our technology at its core is really about geospatial and verification, as I mentioned before. And our manifestation is really in the augmented reality and mapping space. And so I pop it open, and this is, let me turn down the contrast on my screen a little bit here. And this is the map of where I'm located. And I placed all this content. The orange stuff is native to our app, and the other content is YouTubes and TikToks and a few other things. We can place any digital content in the physical space and have it be persistent. And what that means is when I place it there and turn off my phone, it still stays there for Mark when he comes and visits, and he can grab it and bring it to wherever Chris is. And Chris can then transfer it to, or he can transfer it to Chris and then go from there, no matter where you are on the planet. And so having just those core components of functionality, think of it of what GPS did for the planet, right? It gives us directions, it gives us our location, it gives us a few core fundamental elements in our daily lives, which we should probably check out of most of the time with the technology. But GPS is so embedded into what we do, it creates that foundational layer for us to build services on top of that. And so what we've done is we've taken not only GPS, but geo and spatial. And what I mean by spatial is I can place objects down to the square inch and have it stay there and reside there. I could put it under the table. I could put it up in the air. I could put it anywhere on the 72nd floor. But this allows us then to have the tools to create that foundational layer, which is now 3 or 4 times, 4 dimensions more than just GPS, to allow communities to use these tools to create experiences. And at the end of the day, it's about creating experiences for people to share, to augment, to modify, to change, and to collect and share. And so whether it's a business trying to evolve and grow their business, or a community with a cause trying to grow their cause, right? We give them the tools that allow them now to grow that cause beyond a web page, beyond a cryptocurrency, beyond Web3, right? This is the integration of all these pieces together. That's kind of what we believe Web3 is all about. It's the integration of these technologies in the future of what is potentially what we can do with this. And you see with all the rulings that are happening these days, the inevitable is happening, right? We've played in the technology. They've tried to regulate our technology, but you can't really regulate true technology. And that's what we're dealing with here. And so when we give the people the ability to create experiences and promote their causes and get rewarded for promoting their causes in multiple different ways, and integrating the old with the new, meaning the traditional businesses with the avant-garde businesses of crypto. This is where we come to play. And this is where Lykin is that middleware between all of these different metaverses. So in actuality, we are a metaverse builder. So just like Ziv is for the foundations for cryptocurrencies and building out the infrastructures, we're like infrastructure builders for metaverses and the integration of all these different components from Web 1.0, Web 2.0, crypto, apps, web pages, and Web 3. So on our we have our first deployment in the App Store, and you can download the app, and it's a proof of capability, not a proof of concept, because it actually works. And we have people playing with it in multiple countries, from Europe to Asia to the Philippines. High latency, low bandwidth experiences using mesh networks where you don't need the internet to interact with people. You can create and place digital objects and models and experiences and videos that you can make right then and there and share them with people in an environment where there's no internet access. And that's how we act. That's how we work right now. Some of us are connected. Some of us are not so connected. Some of us want to be disconnected. But even sometimes when we are disconnected, we're still taking video of our experiences because we want to share them when we do become connected. So our technology blends all of that capability together in a seamless fashion. Yeah. Go ahead, Mark.
So I'm headed to Burning Man festival in a few weeks, and there's no internet service out there unless you have like the Tesla internet, whatever. And I know that's pretty expensive just to have for a festival, and I think you have to pay for it yearly. If I had my whole I'm part of the Maui Fire Spinners Conclave. We're going to do a big fire spinning show before the burning of the Burning Man, and a couple of other performances during that time. If I had my entire troop download this app beforehand, would we be able to communicate in some sort of way, or at least know each other's locations, but via our phones without the internet?
If you're in proximity with each other. So there is going to be certain levels of proximity. So that's the way a mesh network works, is there a network that, think of it like a walkie-talkie. And you can have a walkie-talkie talk to a walkie-talkie, talk to a walkie-talkie, and kind of repeat the information as it goes down based on how much power you have between walkie-talkies. So we virtually performance tested this, where you can have 100,000 people in a location. If they're relatively close enough, they don't have to be arm to arm, but they have to be within 20 or 30 meters, I think is what the distance. But now you can actually share content and information among that entire group. So think of it like a megaphone, right? And you have this bullhorn, and you're speaking into it, and you're broadcasting out to people in an environment. But now you have people with all their devices. This becomes the microphone for your megaphone, and all their speakers on all their devices become the amplified message, no matter how many there are of them. So now when you don't have internet connection, when you have certain geopolitical situations around the world where they shut down the internet because they don't want people to communicate, when people come together, and that's the power when people come together. That's why there's certain laws put in place in the United States where you are allowed to assemble, because when you take away the ability to assemble, you don't allow people to share information and content. And that's fundamentally what we're all about, is sharing content and being able to communicate. So it's not going to be this magic technology that allows people to see everybody in the night where there is no internet connection, but you still have to be part of a community, just like you are part of a crypto community in a gathering, but it allows you to communicate efficiently and effectively and disseminate information and share information or share experiences that way. So that's more of the slant in terms of what we're talking about with our technology.
Awesome.
So, yeah. And you can go to our website and see some of the examples of the videos. We've created some kind of promotionals that show you how our technology would be implemented, whether it be with the NFT community or traditional retail community, or education and experiences. So we have a bunch of those to show what the potential is. And we're looking for more use cases. And that's kind of our challenge. There are so many use cases, we can't focus on just one of them. We're focusing on one or two of them. But when you give the tools to the people, they're going to create use cases that you have never even thought of. And I didn't want to be able to control those. I want them to create their own use cases and just propagate out the experiences in ways we never even thought of.
Awesome.
Yeah. I've thought like touring historic locations. Like I just think even for educational content, the sky's the limit on this.
Yeah. So I have assets inside my kitchen here. Everything from music. Actually, turn on my volume there. I can leave songs in areas that people can collect and drop off in other places. So it's like copy paste around the world. If they want to leave that, you can link songs or music with videos. I have, I'm going to let me create a quick video of just us right here. So just to show you that this is live. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my other device here also on ready on here. So really quick here. All right, that was one of our other videos I have here. So I'm gonna go say something, guys. Hey, welcome to Coreum, and Chris and Mark. Say hi, guys.
Hey, welcome,
guys.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna post it here. So now you're gonna see this pop up. Boom. See how it shows? Welcome to Coreum, and Chris and Mark. Say hi, guys. Hey. So do you see how fast that was on any device? If there's 100,000 devices, I'll be able to share that video. If we can do video, we can do stills, we can do music, we can do photographs, we can do models, but it shows up here so quickly. And that's kind of the reason why our advantage over more other competitors is because we understand the technology. And I say it tongue in cheek, and I'll step down my soapbox in a second. Have you heard of the Mars Curiosity rover? Chris, where we have a rover on Mars. My CTO was the lead developer and driver of the Mars Curiosity rover. So we fix stuff on Mars, or we fix stuff on Mars. We have both on-world and off-world experience, which means we have to understand hardware, software, telemetry, data, because it's going through our solar system out to the galaxy. We have to understand that and make it as small as possible so that we can communicate with people around the Earth. So that's why our technology is advanced, more advanced than most. And so
that explains why we had a Mars rover on our campsite on the weekend.
But it could be anything, right? It could be anything. How to properly dress a salmon, right? When you catch it, how do you gut it? How do you fillet it? All that could be transferred and conveyed. So
yeah, and I mentioned in a historical site, like a place I'm thinking of near me in British Columbia here, Lake Louise had a giant historic hotel, no longer there, but just the stone foundation remains, right? And hundreds of thousands of people come to this location every year. And just to think that you can populate what that place would look like just by having that data there, or a video there, or a picture. And then we were talking earlier, you said you could take that even to the next level. So,
and I was going to show you here, I have one where we're doing one for this is like an augmented reality house that we're placing in a location that we could then use LiDAR to match the foundation that's there and place the object, and then you can start to walk into the rooms and check out what's at that location, what the hotel looked like in its day and age. You can resize it, reset it, and a bunch of other stuff that we have that allows people to interact with their environments, and then place incentives there, place little missions there. Hey, tell me what happened on the fourth day of the battle, right? And then you find that information, you plug it in, and then you get rewarded for that information. And now your status goes up a little bit because you now know more information. And you can share that with other people. You can share that reward with other people. You can leave your own kind of trivia questions for other people and give their incentives for them, and then carry that across the world. So if you've done it here at the Battle of Gettysburg or whatever that's there, then you can bring it to Japan and answer, what did the Seven Samurai do in this blah, 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 right? So you just carry it across the world because these digital assets are now location aware.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, we don't want to give it all away in one day. This was definitely a last minute call, and really want to thank Coreum Concepts here for having us. And I think I'm going to do another video with him really soon, maybe even tonight, about a couple things that Rize is doing, and love to have Joey back on to talk about some of our updates. I know that we have a few things to talk about this week, some more, and some integrations, and hopefully get on the horn with Coreum. So if any faithful Coreum followers are listening, why don't you go ahead and let them know what Joey's up to, share the information, let's get it out there. And if you got some ideas, let's start feeding it back to Joey. Joey,
Yep.
what were your social media handles?
So everything can be found through on Lykin.com, Lykin.com. So we have our our Discord, our Twitter handle, everything is there. So you just go to that website and you'll see some of the videos and all the other social media that we're linked to.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I'll post all that definitely in the description of the video, and link to the app at the App Store and everything, because it's you can truly get a lot of amazing ideas just interacting with that app, just beyond what you first see. It just gets you really thinking of, like you said, the good that it could do in this world, either on a geopolitical sense or an educational sense, historical, or even educating people from Web 2 to Web 3. That's a huge bridge to cross. So technology is accessible as yours is, because we downloaded it and we were playing with it in a minute. Like, there was no learning curve. It wasn't complicated. It was press this button and wow, look at what's happening now.
And the fun is when you actually start to have multiple devices, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 devices, and people are playing with it and like, oh my God, you got this. And they try to do Inception, where they have multiple people and multiple cameras that are there, and they're taking photos and then reposting them. So it becomes an interesting experience. So for sure.
Well, that's great. I'm glad we were able to get together today. I was, like I said, since our last meeting there, I've thought about this nonstop, and I'm glad we had an update and keep this fresh and moving forward. I'm really excited to get this out to our community. We have a lot of great minds and potential in this community that I know, once they see this and be able to understand it and play with it a little bit, you're going to really see it take off. And then from there, you go community to community, because like I said, it's a great technology, can do a lot of things, and it's very user friendly. And that's the biggest challenge in our field, is having user friendly technology. So that's the key to mass adoption.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to shoot one more thing out there. Reiterate one point. Funds that are being earned from Rize's validator commission right now will be usable rewards for maybe some sample projects that Joey plans on launching, or maybe just some funds to help launch a mass media campaign for Coreum, to help them get seen more, to just create some other activities. I'm calling on some other validators after they watch this set also, that maybe we can co-join together, have maybe a Telegram chat, or just a full-on private Twitter Spaces with Joey. Maybe we talk about some of the options and the things where we could take parts of our commission and help see a company like this that will inherently bring us all together, and a little bit better help expand our community, at the same time as tighten the bond in our community. A couple of the validators off the top of my head are Solo Nation, 007 Coreum, 01 Nodes, a couple other centralized. They got AirGap, allnodes.com, BeHarvest, BitTrue, Bumbaloo, that's a good family one. Beware Labs, Bite Steak is another good family one. I remember Citadel One, Core Anons, Core Heroes, Coreum Community DAO, Coreum Services, Cosmo Station. If we can get one of the bigger names out there promoting to some of these guys, and bring together rewards that are going to go back to our community members for helping do what? Also promote our community and lift each other up. That's why we're really here, to lift each other up. We all got a lot of similar causes in the background. Not all of us are profit driven, because we see that the space that we're in, we are all going to do very well. We're here early. We're on that technology cusp regardless. So, giving away some other rewards to help lift our community up in the long run, and doing that together, it's a win-win for all. If anybody wants to go a little bit deeper on another call rather than a group call, please reach out to me or Chris clearly has been playing with the app and see some of the potential, reach out to Chris, do another video with Chris, reach out to Joey. I'm sure a couple more Coreum videos won't hurt about this technology. And then in the process, I'm sure that some of the ideas that Joey has coming are going to win one of these Wave 3 grants from Coreum. But I'd love to be seeing some things build a little bit faster to really accelerate some adoption in Coreum, which I know that we've all been waiting for, and then take some of the workload off of the developers from Coreum to let them focus on the interoperability processes that are being built, and they could build them a lot faster. Like the whole marketing team could be helping on other parts with them with that. Like let's work together as the community that we're supposed to be. You know, drop some of the petty things and really come together and build things to lift each other up. And that's also why I built the bridge. You know, I spent quite a bit of money building the bridge that I just created, that you can transfer your XRP Coreum to Coreum Cosmos Coreum tokens and do it very efficiently and take some of the weight off of the Coreum team. And I'm hoping that we can get on a call together soon and hopefully get it figured out. If not, it's okay. It'll still be available for people to use. I'll just have to watch about how many people trade through there, because we only have so much Coreum liquidity at a time. But it is available now for anybody that wants to use it. You can reach us on our Twitter, or our email is support@rizetoday.com. And yeah, just looking forward to the next call with you guys. And Joey, I'm sure we'll be talking later again and going over a few more ideas. And if I have some time here with Coreum Concepts, love to catch you guys on video part 2 or part 3, depending if Chris breaks this video down a little bit or not. We'll see. But
to the moon.
Can't wait to see the results. And much love to you guys, and aloha. And
get it.
Yeah.
All righty, guys.
Great.
Have a great evening. Have a great day. And this is happening regardless. And we're committed and dedicated. So it's whether we start small or big, it's happening. So
can we
Right on,
like
guys?
fist bump the camera together?
yeah. Awesome. All right, guys.
Great, guys. Take care.
Take it easy.